All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Blind View. And today is October 1st. Here is your host, Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. How is everybody? Oh my goodness, I can't believe that it's the beginning of October, the fall. Where up in Montana, where I used to live, like this was always the beginning of, well, not the beginning, but kind of like almost the end of harvest season by now, right? But it was always a great time of year because there was harvest and there was Halloween and then there was Thanksgiving and then there was my birthday and then there was Christmas and then there was New Year's Day and my baby sister's birthday. And so this time of year has always been the beginning of the festival season for me. So it's always been really great. What about you, Anya?
Hey everyone. Hope everybody's having a great day. Yeah, for me, it's also it marks the beginning of the almost marks the beginning of the holiday season. I kind of start my holiday season after Halloween, but it's a good month to lead up to it. Just
Yeah.
bunch of pumpkin spice and
Oh yeah. Yeah, and like I remember hay rides when I was a child sometimes, not every year, but every once in a while we were lucky enough to get on a hay ride, and I remember corn mazes and do you know what a corn maze is?
I don't even know what hay rides are either. What is it?
Oh, hay ride is when they fill the back of a wagon with hay and a bunch of people pile in the back of it and they pull it usually by horses or it can be pulled by like a pickup or something. And you just ride along. You sometimes you can sing songs, you can also drink hot cocoa, crap like that. It's just a fun event that people do up north or they used to do when I was a kid. Honestly, I don't know if they do anymore because even when I was a kid, it was scarce and hard to find. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Like
see.
I only remember it on really rare special occasions, that kind of stuff.
Well, that sounds
Uh,
fun though. I would take a ride like that.
oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Did you ever sit around a campfire?
Yeah, we've done that. It's actually pretty pleasant when the
Hmm.
air is crisp, kind of you can smell fall in the air and then sitting around the
Hmm.
fire is just awesome. Yeah, having a drink, something hot like you said, cocoa or some. It's like October is actually the month when I start drinking tea in the evenings. We start drinking.
Oh yeah.
In the summer, we don't do that because it's too hot. But October through April, I guess. Yeah. So weeknights, we usually drink something, lemon ginger, honey lemon ginger tea. I like a lot, um,
Yeah.
or some chamomile or anything. So.
Yeah. Anya, have you ever been to a rodeo?
No, I have not. I heard a lot about it. I know Texas has a very nice rodeo, but I don't think we have it here.
Oh yeah. So I bet they do have it here in Arizona at the county fair. Because that's where they had it in Montana. It was at the county fair. Was where they had the rodeo. So and maybe even there in Kansas at the county fair, maybe they have a rodeo. It's not advertised really well. It's literally like just at the county fair. You know what I mean?
That's possible, and sadly, I have not been to a county fair in Kansas because usually it's held in Hutchinson, Kansas. I know it's not going to tell you anything, but it's like a few hours away from where we live.
Uh huh.
If it was in our town or at least like in Kansas City or something, it would be worthwhile going. But when
Yeah.
it's hours away, I
Yeah. Yeah.
don't feel like going. But yeah, well, do you like Halloween?
Um, I do like Halloween, and I'm really excited about it this year because I don't know. I'm really excited about the decorating part because honestly, my folks are coming back down, and they'll be here before Halloween. And my mom really likes Halloween, and she's going to be able to decorate the house over there. And so I'm really excited to watch my mom decorate for Halloween and get excited about it. and I'm excited to like welcome trick or treaters at our house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where Pat and I are living. So um, I'm excited about all of it. And I'm really happy that I'm here for Halloween and not up in Montana where I used to live because it was so cold. By
Right.
by that time of year.
But
So
so I'm a little confused. You said your folks are coming, and they have the house. So where do they live? Do they live in Arizona
so
or in Montana?
so they usually spend winters in a second house here in Mesa that I bought a couple years ago. And when they're not down here at the house in Mesa, they're up in Montana staying in a camper up there. Like they're up there in the spring and summer and when it's beautiful up there, and then they come back down here when it starts to get cold up there.
Oh, that's smart. And
Yeah.
who is watching after the houses once they're not there?
Well, they have like a camper up there. It's like an extra large trailer.
Right.
Um, and that's what they're living in up there. So when they're gone, because they come down here for the winter. When they're gone, they just have friends that they've gotten to know over the years. Because I mean, my dad's been in Montana since he was like 4 years old, so he knows so many people in Montana, right? And they know their neighbors really well that they've been living by, and so their neighbors just watch out for their place
Oh,
while they're here in Arizona, and they call them from time to time to check in on it and stuff.
but who lives in Minnesota then? Because you have.
Oh, so my parents are divorced and they got divorced when I was a baby. And so I was raised by my mom and my stepdad. And then I would go to Minnesota to see my dad and stepmom most summers when I was growing up and some
Oh,
Christmas holidays, stuff like that.
oh, okay,
So,
that makes sense. Because you're
yeah.
all over the place,
Yeah.
Minnesota, Montana.
And like my ex-husband and I, we actually lived in Minnesota for like a year because well, we actually spent a lot of time in Minnesota because we used to go there every year for my ex-husband to get his heart examined at the International Heart Institute, or what is it called? No, at the Mayo Clinic there.
Mayo Clinic, yeah, in
Yeah,
Rochester.
at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Yeah, we fly to like Minneapolis once a year and visit my dad and stepmom and go to the Mayo Clinic so Randy could get his heart tested, right?
Uh-huh. Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So and so I spent quite a bit of time with my dad and my stepmom back then, right? Because we'd see him most years when we went back to the Mayo Clinic. And I even lived in Minnesota for a year when I was married to my ex-husband. So,
Right. How did you end up in Arizona?
well, so my ex-husband was born in Cottonwood, Arizona,
Oh,
and I met him in Missoula. Now, I was taken to Missoula against my will as a prisoner in 1997. I never chose to move there.
oh,
And and I bought a house there under duress when I was locked under the guardianship.
uh-huh.
2001, and because I owned a house there, I felt so attached to Missoula for so long, right? Like even when I left Missoula after I got out of the guardianship, that's when I started going out and seeking training because in Missoula there was no place for a blind adult to learn anything in Missoula. If you wanted to learn Braille or O&M training or like uh, tech training or ADL or any of that stuff, you had to go out of the state of Montana. So while I was locked under the guardianship, I couldn't learn or do anything. But as soon as I got out of the guardianship, I started looking, and so we moved to Minneapolis for a while. But I realized I didn't want to stay there for a long time because it was so cold.
Oh,
So
yeah.
while we were in Minneapolis, I was sending my ex-husband down here to Arizona to look for a house for us because during the years we were married, we'd been down here to Arizona a few times to visit, like because he was originally from Cottonwood, and he has, or back then, I think they're all gone now, but back then he had like two uncles and an aunt and several cousins, here in Cottonwood and the surrounding areas. Like some of them are in some other parts of Arizona, but several of them are in Cottonwood, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I've been down here several times. So anyway, when I finally got out of that guardianship, so I could leave the state of Montana and move somewhere else,
Right.
I sent my ex-husband down here to look for a new house for us here in Arizona, while we were living in Minneapolis, and I was starting my blind immersion training at Blind Incorporated up there,
Right. Right. And what
Minneapolis.
year? What year was that? What year? I think.
It was back in, let's see, I got out of the guardianship in 2012 and 2013. It was 2014 and into 15 when my ex-husband was coming down here looking for houses, and we bought the house in April of 2015 was when we bought this house that I'm sitting in right now.
Oh, okay. So did you end up selling the house in Missoula?
Yes, I did sell the house in Missoula
Oh, okay.
after I divorced my husband and got custody of my son back. Well, it wasn't really. Brandy and I were just sharing custody, and there were no court orders or anything. But when I filed the divorce, the judge gave me custody of David as he was ruling on our divorce. So
Right. And you trusted your husband to pick a house without you looking at it?
So what Randy did was he came down and met with a real estate agent, and he looked at several houses. Well, first we went online and picked out several houses, and then we made contact with a real estate agent, and he came down and looked at those houses with the real estate agent, and he looked at different specs that I need and want in a home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he picked a few that he really liked that met all my specs, and the kids and I flew down here to look at those houses. Well, eventually we found this house, the one that I wound up buying.
Mm. Well,
That's
so
how I found this house.
I ended up trusting my husband to pick a house because I participated in the choosing as well, but I worked in Minnesota, so I couldn't come and check out every little house we were looking at. So,
Yeah,
and they were going so fast. Like, even if I wanted to come, by the time I would buy tickets and come, it would be already sold. It was
yeah.
really fast. But what were your like main specs? Like, what is a must?
Well, I was looking for at least 4 bedrooms and 2 baths, and I wanted it all on one level, and I wanted a swimming pool. and
Oh,
and and I wanted like access to a bus nearby, right?
uh-huh.
Um, and and so that's those were all the things, and this house definitely meets all of that criteria. So yeah, Randy did a really great job um, looking around through the houses. And this house, I'm telling you, when I walked into this house and toured it, I just fell in love with it. It's so perfect for me. Like I have so much room in this house to make it so it works for me, right? Like I really wanted to, when I left my husband, I really wanted to be able to focus on getting my health back, right? And in
Uh-huh.
this house, I have room where I have my treadmill right here in my bedroom. I also have my desk right here where I do my writing. Right outside my bedroom door, I have my punching bag that I hit every day. I also have a crunch bench that I'm working on, working into my workout schedule. And I also have my swimming pool right here outside my veranda door. And so it's like I can get up in the morning and go right to work exercising on the treadmill. Right? And does that make sense? And and
Yeah.
and and then I can also like walk my dogs first thing in the morning and then take a shower, right? And then hit my punching bag later in the day. So like I really love my house. My ex-husband, he did, I mean, I don't think he realized how perfect it was going to be for me because I actually set up most of this after I left him, right? Like I got my treadmill just before I left him, and I got my punching bag after I left him. Um, so I don't think he realized how perfect this house was that he found for me.
Right. But
But it's really
but
worked out great.
well, that's great. But my question is, you said one of the specs was have all the rooms in the same level. Why so?
Because the house that I was forced to buy under duress up in Missoula when I was locked under the guardianship was a split level house.
That's what I have.
And I was so tired of the stairs. And I have to understand, I was in 4 car accidents while I lived in that house, and I had 2 pregnancies, and then with my injuries from the accident that happened when I was a kid, like my body was hurting so bad, and I hated those stairs in that house. And like you couldn't go, like you had to go. Stairs were unavoidable. Like when you came in the front door, you either had to go upstairs or downstairs. You couldn't just walk in and sit down in a chair and be comfortable.
Yeah, that's how mine is. You walk
Yeah.
inside and you go either up or down. Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved it when I bought that house in 2001, right? And when I first bought it, I thought, wow, this is beautiful. It had like a royal blue carpet, and I love blue. It's my favorite color, right? So it had a royal blue carpet on both staircases and all the way up and through the living room and stuff and through the family room downstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that carpet. And when I owned it though, I wound up trading out the carpet. And I did a lot of remodeling to the house and made it really awesome, right? Like it has a beautiful kitchen in it. It has blue granite countertops in it.
Oh.
And the countertops are raised like 2 inches higher than standard because I'm a tall person. And I instructed those foremen to raise those countertops up. And when I first told them to do it, they argued with me and they said, ma'am, but this is not going to be standard and it's going to make your house less desirable, right?
Wait, are you talking about the new house that you currently have, or
No, the one in Missoula.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I told them, I said, I don't care. I want you guys to raise these countertops because it hurt my back leaning over, working on, cooking and doing dishes and all kinds of stuff. And I wanted them to raise them up. So they raised them up. And when they were done, everybody that came into that house always said they loved those countertops. Nobody ever said those are too tall. Everybody loved them. Even my short friends loved my tall countertops,
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's something I would like to have. Granite, I heard granite is kind of tough. Like if you break it's not very tolerable, if you know what I mean. Like if the glass falls, I hear from people it shatters right away. Like if you knock over glass.
The glass shatters or the granite shatters?
No, the glass, of course, because granite is so strong.
Yeah, it makes a really nice countertop, though, granite does. And so blue's my favorite color, right? So I had all blue drapes and shit through my house up in Missoula. Honestly, most of my drapes, I think maybe not all the drapes in this house are blue anymore because some of them have gotten pretty chintzy, and I honestly need to replace some of my window dressings in this house. But
did it also have 4 bedrooms, the old house?
Yeah. This bedroom here has 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, and the other house that I own here in Mesa, the one that my parents winter in and that my sister and my son live in, that is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house over there.
Oh wow, 3 full baths?
3 partial baths, like I guess none of them have a bathtub. They have showers, like dinky little shower stalls.
No, that's considered full. If you have a toilet and a shower, that's considered full.
But the 3rd bathroom is part of the addition. Because see, there was an attached garage, and one of the previous owners turned the attached garage into a 4th, because it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house originally. And one of the previous owners turned the attached garage into a 4th bedroom with a 3rd bath in it. And so like you have to step down to go down to the other bathroom and the 4th bedroom because it used to be a garage, so it's sunken in quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Why don't they have blind people sections at sporting events? Why do I gotta pay the same price to not see shit? Okay? The Jumbotron ain't even built for me.
I am the business manager here at the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
I see you brought the film crew. Make sure you get my good side.
All right, settle down and get focused on your tasks. I teach the art of cuisine, child.
You wanna know what the problem, the biggest problem in the blind community? It's you sighted people.
Just take a look over here.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
Okay, you all need to turn off those cameras and just leave the building.
Wait, Joe, hold on.
Oh, on your right.
You're on the right.
How would you know that the men you're dating are black?
No, this is not card member services. This is the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
Gigi, where are his pants?
I don't know.
Billy doesn't work here. He basically came with the building.
I can be the very first mayor of Blind Sylvania.
Make blind America great again.
There goes my pie.
This happens every day?
No, of
Sometimes.
course not.
Are we back?
Yes, we are. We are
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of telling me about the house.
Yeah, so over at my parent or at the other house, I call it my parents' house because my parents usually spend winters in it, and then my sister and my son just moved over there last spring, right? So, but over at the other house, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and one of the previous owners turned the attached garage into a 4th bedroom with a 3rd bathroom. And so with its own entrance as well. So it's kind of like having an attached apartment to the house.
That's kind of cool. You know, it's if somebody ever wants to do that, they could do Airbnb, you know?
Yeah, the thing is though, like, so right outside of the exit that goes outside of the attachment, like, for one thing, when you walk out that door, on the right hand side is the air conditioner, right? Because the addition didn't have air conditioning pumped to it from the central air that was in the house, so it has its own air conditioner unit, right? Just right outside the door there, right? And so when you step outside that door, on the right hand side is that air conditioner unit. And after I bought the house, the first year my parents were in it, when the monsoons came, it flooded the yard. And I mean, I think our longtime viewers will probably remember me talking about it on episodes way back then, right? Because I remember talking about it on the show. And what happened back then was when the floods came, it flooded into the house, and we had to get a whole bunch of repairs to the house for the water damage, right? And I don't like to, I mean, when I see a problem like that, I like to fix it so it doesn't happen again, right? Because it was clear it was going to happen again, because right away, like, we got it cleaned up, and then like a couple days later it started raining and leaking under the door again, right? So I got this guy in there who put up, he was, I mean, his name was Sherman, and he did the fence around my parents' house. Well, he built a retaining wall for me to retain that water, right? So right when you step outside that door, you can't really use that door as an exit or entrance anymore, because when you step out that door, on the right hand side is the air conditioner, and then right in front of you is that retaining wall, and it wraps around on the left side to protect the house from that water coming back in, because over there is, like, that side of the yard, the ground was slanted, so the water was running towards the house. Plus, it was like a whole bunch of water because of the monsoons. And so it was crazy. Like, I had to pay, what was his name? He was really great. Like, he like fixed the yard. Like, I don't know if he did it with a shovel or a hoe or both or what, but he slanted the ground so it was aiming the other direction. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then he built the retaining wall for me so that, I mean, over time, if the silt starts to settle again or whatever, you know, or the dirt in the ground, so that it'll help protect the house from that flooding, because it was really terrible. And because of the way the ground was slanted and the heavy rains, like I said, it was running right into the house. And I know that it had been a long time problem, because when we went in to do our water restoration, there was mold in there from old, you know what I mean?
Oh
From
yeah.
old floods with previous
Well,
owners, and
previous floods.
they hadn't cleaned it up properly, so there was mold in there. So I had to clean all the mold out, do an abatement, and
Yeah, that's what I was
get it
like. I was
fixed.
watching for, when we were looking for houses for
Yeah.
a house. I wanted one with a basement. I was opposite from
Mhm.
you. Like I did not want one level at all. I wanted some
Mhm.
separation because I wanted to have guest bedroom farther away from the master bedroom,
Uh-huh.
from like from the upstairs. So
Mhm.
we could have some privacy, and the guests could have some privacy. So these walls are so thin, you can hear somebody fart next door. Excuse me very much. It's just too thin. Yeah.
Well, I've never slept over at the other house, so I don't know how thin the walls are there. But I know at this house, like in my master suite where I'm at right now, I can't hear anything that goes on the other side of the house where the other three bedrooms are at night. And I know this because when my kids were still here, like they all would have different music going on in their bedrooms at night, right? Cranked up
Uh-huh.
loud, of course. I knew this because when I'd walk out to the kitchen to get a drink of water or something, I could hear it, right? But
Uh-huh.
when I come back in my bedroom and shut my bedroom door, I can't even hear it.
Well, you said
It's
master.
really great.
Yeah, that sounds good. You said master suite. What makes it a suite?
Well, I've got my bedroom here. I've got an attached bathroom with a walk-in closet. I've got like a little fridge in here. About the only thing that I don't have in here that I've thought about putting in here is like a little microwave where I can microwave stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, why
Because
would you need one in a bedroom? You could go to the kitchen.
well, I have a dorm fridge in here where I put cold drinks and stuff, I could
Uh-huh.
also put like some microwavable stuff in there and then stick it in the microwave in here and have like my own little private suite more, you know what I mean? Not have to walk out to the kitchen every time. I don't know, it's just an idea. Um,
Yeah, I
but
mean, if you were in a house before alone for a while, so
yeah,
those kind of wouldn't
yeah,
matter, right?
right.
If you
Yeah,
had to walk out.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, stairs for me was not a big deal, and we were looking for houses with basement, but one of the things that we were paying attention to was the smell of mold, like you
Uh-huh.
mentioned, because when the place floods, the smell stays so long.
Yeah,
It's actually
yeah.
bad for you. Like if you
Oh
can get,
yeah, the spores.
yeah,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Not only doesn't smell good, it just infects your health.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely a health hazard.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we found it what we wanted, and sounds like you found it
Yeah.
what you wanted. So,
Yeah. And
but go ahead.
and my house, the one that I'm living in now, the one I've always lived in here in Arizona, it doesn't seem to have any flooding problems. I love this house. It's great.
But who helps you decorate it, if at all, like putting, or you don't
um,
decorate?
I don't decorate. I have some pictures on my wall because like when I moved in, I went and bought like some patriotic pictures. Like somewhere around here, I have a picture of George Washington, and I have a picture of Abraham Lincoln, and I have a picture of the Constitution and the American flag and stuff like that, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
have pictures that I've bought, and I know what they're of because I'm an American. I remember those things right from when I could see. So I like to put pictures up that I know what they are like that, or pictures of my family, which I don't think I have any pictures of my family up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or like if you walk in my entryway, what a person would see is awards, right? Because uh, our project Don't Look Now won several awards. And so they're all hanging in my entryway. And I think Gino's got copies of them hanging at his house too, because they're projects that Gino and I created together.
Uh-huh.
And
Well,
so those are the sorts of things I have hanging on my walls. Otherwise, like my ex-husband did some decorating when he lived here. My sister did some decorating when she lived here. My boyfriend and I guess you could call it decorating because we're living here. and sometimes we hang stuff up on the wall. But
can you actually see? Can you see the picture? Like what's in the picture?
I honestly haven't really tried to look at any pictures since I've been doing my stem cell therapy. I've been looking at my environment around me more. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Um,
But you should.
I
I mean, you've done few sessions. You should be able to see the pictures. I would think. I mean, I don't
well,
know anything about it, but
I've done 3 sessions of stem cell therapy, and my vision is definitely getting better. I just haven't, like, I'm noticing, like, right now I can see the screen better than I've been able to ever. You know what I mean? Because this technology wasn't around when I could see before.
but can you
But
read off the screen?
no, I can't read off the screen. Not the screen I'm looking at. It's my iPhone. Well, it's my it's not my iPhone, I guess, but it's a little rectangle on my big computer screen here, or whatever.
Oh,
Like, you
well,
know what I mean?
I thought you were talking about the computer screen, not iPhone.
You thought what?
I thought you were talking about the computer screen, not iPhone screen.
Well, it looks like an iPhone to me. Like the size and shape of the window kind of looks like an iPhone to me. So that's why I said iPhone. I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't have used that terminology, because I guess it is an iPhone. But
and speaking of iPhones, did you hear that iPhone 17 came out?
no, did you hear it? Do you use iPhone?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what are they saying about iPhone 17? I haven't heard anything.
I don't know. I just heard it from a friend a little bit, and it just came out, so she got it, and she says it has 2 buttons now. So yeah, and then you can customize. One button is for like normal button, for like
a home button.
No, it's not a home button. Like you lock your phone and unlock your phone.
Okay.
But there's another one, extra one that you can supposedly customize. So you can set it up to do whatever you want it to do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not anytime soon to get iPhone 17. I just got
Does it have a flat screen otherwise that you can, like the regular iPhone does now then?
Yeah, I think it's very similar.
Okay. So iPhone 17, I'll have to look into that. I bet there's information like on YouTube and stuff maybe about it. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. Which one do you have?
Oh my gosh. I think I have the iPhone 8 Plus.
Oh, girl, that's so old.
I know. And it's refurbished. It was like during the quarantine, I think, was when I got it.
Oh my. So that one still has a home button then.
Okay, wait. Then it must not be that one. Maybe it's the SE? Because I don't think mine has a home button. Let me look at it real quick. Now you got me thinking. So, no, there's no home button. There's just the side button and the volume buttons.
Oh, okay.
But
well, maybe if it's Plus, maybe 8 Plus didn't have button anymore either.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably uses regular charger too.
So Anya, do you and Robert celebrate Halloween? I mean, do you guys like hand out candy or decorate or dress up or anything?
Well, usually it coincides with our NFB state convention. So, well, or very close to it. So this year our convention is on Friday, which is Halloween. And so we tell everybody to dress up for convention. I'll be working registration, but I'll still dress up. I don't know what I'm gonna put. I mean, do you have any idea?
Do I have any idea? No, I don't. My boyfriend and I are talking about having a Halloween party here at the house, though, and dressing up and stuff. So I have to figure out something really cool.
Yeah, I mean, good place to pick things out is Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
Okay. Yeah, that's where we go sometimes. I mean, I have one suit, like one, from a few years ago. So it's a cat, with I have a tail and ears and whiskers. A very cute one. And one year I dressed up as a bat, you know,
Mm-hmm.
blind man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too big into dressing up, because I can't see other people's costumes. It's kind of, it's a shame, but
I don't think I've really dressed up for Halloween since I went blind. Maybe once or twice when I was still a kid. Before I went blind, I was a punk rocker my last Halloween with green and orange hair, and it was a great time. But
yeah, in some way, I mean, okay, it's for kids mainly, so I don't
oh
feel like
yeah,
spending lots of money on some stupid costume that
right,
you can't really rewear it because it would be lame to wear the same costume like several years in a
uh-huh.
row.
Right,
But what do you do with it? It's just gonna sit there and collect dust in your closet.
right, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I have a small cat set up, with a little bone and a neck. You put, it's pretty
Yeah,
cute. But
yeah.
I don't know. But when kids do it, it's kind of fun and trick or treat. Are you gonna buy candy?
Oh yeah, I buy candy every year and pass it out. My ex-husband and I, we used to also get tracts and put them like I get Ziploc sandwich bags and I stuff them full of candy and I put a tract in each one and then I'd like put a bunch of the bags in a big bowl, like a big mixing bowl, and then when the trick or treaters came to the door, I just hold the bowl out there and let them each take a bag. So,
What is tracts?
so when you're a Christian, there's these things, they're like little brochures and they're called tracts. And they tell, like, I don't know, I've read several of them. They're like, they say things about Jesus. Sometimes they have Bible verses on them. Sometimes there's a Bible story on them.
Mm.
Sometimes it's an invitation to the church, a specific church. It's just a little pamphlet,
Oh,
a thin little pamphlet that Christians use to evangelize, I guess is the correct word.
okay.
And they're called pamphlets. And my ex-husband and I are Christians, and so at Halloween time, that's what we used to do to try to spread God's word, on a dark night. So
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
yeah.
But in our neighborhood, we don't have many kids, and like, we, I don't even hear anybody going by. When you hear
Mhm.
kids trick or treating, you can
Yeah.
hear them. But
Yeah.
our neighborhood is kind of older people. We do have a couple next door that have a couple of kids, but they're too young still.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it seems like we usually get several trick-or-treaters here. But this year we got 3 dogs, right? And I think I might just try to shut the lights off and hopefully we won't get anybody coming to the door because every time they ring the doorbell, the dogs all go bananas, right? And
But,
now we have 3 big dogs. Last year we only had 2.
but how are you gonna give out candy if you're gonna shut the lights down and?
Well, maybe I won't give out candy. Maybe I'll go over to the other house and give out candy. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay. But
Yeah.
how do you keep your dogs back? Like if somebody comes in and
Well,
you.
see, that's another part of the problem. Like, we have kennels for 2 of them, but we really don't want to kennel both of them and leave them in their kennels all night. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to be fair to them when every time someone comes through the door, the good dog can go and greet the trick or treaters, but they got to stay locked in their kennels. No, it's not fair to any of them. That's why I'm thinking I just want to shut my lights off and lock my door and make it unwelcoming to trick or treaters. You know what I mean? So
Right, but I was more asking in general, like if somebody comes to your house, how do you make sure that they don't, the dogs don't attack that person, don't jump over them?
oh, how do we make when people come to the house in general?
Right. How do you keep
Well, because our dogs are not vicious dogs, right? Like, so our one dog, the one that doesn't have a kennel at all, Precious, her name is Precious and it fits her. She's a German Shepherd who's very shy and mild mannered, and yet she smiles really sweet. And, she makes it clear that she wants to be friendly. So if you come up and you're friendly to her, you made a friend, she'll be your
Right.
friend for life. That's one of our dogs. And our other dogs is like my dog Shep, Shep will only attack somebody if they're hurting me, right? Shep is my protector.
Right.
And then the other dog is Patrick's dog, Fawn. That dog that he got last year, the half Australian Shepherd, half German Shepherd, the one that was shitting and pissing everywhere in my house, and that Pat and I used to fight about, and then Pat left town, and then remember I paid for that dog to get 3 weeks of training, which was a big ripoff. That lady really ripped me off. It was terrible.
Well, I thought you said last week that you weren't quite happy with
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time, The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now, back to the show.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear just fine.
Is Brandon with us now? I thought I heard a males.
Oh, you may have heard my husband saying something about
okay.
commercial.
So as we were saying, we were talking about the dog training that I got for fun, right?
Oh yeah, and you mentioned last week that you weren't happy with the way she trained her, but you said she has gotten better, so it's not the case anymore.
She's gotten better, but not. I mean, she still has accidents on the floor sometimes, right? She's just not doing it as intentionally anymore because I managed to break her of it, right? But she was still doing it all the time after the dog training until I finally nipped her of it, right? And the other stuff the dog trainer was supposed to break her of, the jumping, she still does that. In fact, my sister, when she came over earlier today, my sister comes in the front door and she says, Fawn, get down. Fawn, get down. You have to tell her repeatedly, and you have to push her off of you. And that was one of the things the dog trainer was supposed to train her not to do. And the other thing, chewing, that's the only thing that I can say seems like it's really gotten better. She still takes people's things and goes and hides them, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still hiding my shoes, but like my boyfriend doesn't always hide his stuff. So every once in a while, like she took his hat the other day. He went today and had to get himself a new hat. I think he got himself 2 hats, but yeah, she took his hat the other day and I don't think he ever was able to find it. East Valley Canine Services. What a ripoff that outfit is. Because the dog does all the stuff the lady said she would train her not to do.
But why didn't you ask for a refund?
Well, because I don't know. She already had all my money. I don't think she would have given it back.
Well, would you?
How do you get? I mean, short of taking one of those sorts of people to court, how do you get a refund from them?
Well, court is the last resort. You don't have to start with court. I mean, if the services were not rendered and you paid for them, they must.
They were rendered. She had my dog for 3 weeks. It's just the dog. She didn't train the dog to do any of the stuff that she said she trained the dog to do.
Right. So she did not provide the service she said she would. She didn't train the dog properly.
Yeah, but she already had all my money. Like, I don't know what to do. Short of going and getting a hold of the Better Business Bureau and filing a complaint. I don't know. I'm sure there's stuff people can do, but I'm blind and my resources are limited. And I don't know how to do that stuff. So I didn't do anything. I don't know how to do that.
But did you please tell her?
I dealt with her in fair faith. I paid her the money she said she charged, so she could do the things she said she'd do, and she just didn't do them.
Right. But did you at least tell her that the dog?
Yes, I told her. And my sister told her because we were both communicating with the lady.
And what did she say?
I don't know. I'll have to look back on the text feed. This was what month are we in here? This is
October. Remember
this was back in July. So.
Oh wow.
I don't remember what she said, but.
Yeah, at this point, it may be a little late. It may be too late already.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it's if you look for somebody, like I would usually. I never had situation like this, but for service like this, when I would try to find somebody through a friend or something, not just from a random, because
Yeah,
you never know how good they are, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
And
go ahead.
honestly, I think if I was going to look for somebody like that again, I'd probably ask at the dog park where we go sometimes because there's a lot of people there with dogs and they might know trainers. Um,
And how do you handle all three dogs? It's a lot of dogs to walk. I know
that's
you're a
why
walker guy, right?
that's why I have my handyman Sean walk them with me every morning, and Patrick's been trying to walk them at night. I mean, he says he's gonna. I think one night he actually walked them, but it's just now starting to cool off enough to walk them in the evenings anyway. So.
But if it's too hot, you don't take them outside or what?
Well, they can go outside through the dog door to go to the bathroom, but we
Uh-huh.
usually don't take them for walks out on the pavement when it's too hot because it'll burn their feet.
Oh, that's true.
And here in Arizona, it gets really hot during the day, so the pavement gets really hot. So even after the sun goes down, like certain times of the year, you have to wait for a long time, even after the sun goes down, before the sidewalk's cool enough to walk your dogs on. And by then, it's really late at night. Patrick doesn't like going out sometimes, you know. Honestly, I was really surprised that it was last night, I think, or maybe it was the night before. He walked all three dogs. First, he walked the puppy, and then he walked the other two dogs together. So,
Right.
but otherwise, he hasn't been doing it consistently every night. But here soon, when it cools down enough, I'm going to have my handyman start walking them with me in the evening too.
Yeah, hot them. It can be really hot. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, and it burns their feet, and you know it's cruel to take your animals out and make them walk on burning hot concrete. So or
yeah.
cement.
I mean, even when you're on the beach, and you want to go to the water,
Oh yeah.
and you have to walk on that hot sand. Oh my God, it's just
Yeah, and imagine walking on a hot pavement, like this hot sidewalk that's had the 120-degree sun beating down on it all day. Yeah, so that's why we get up really early and we take our dogs for a walk before the sun comes up during the summer. And in the evening, you got to go, later on after the sun's been down for a while. So.
yeah. Those poor doggies. I mean, I wonder how guide dogs do in places like this, like Arizona,
And that's exactly one big reason why I didn't get a guide dog, right? Because I didn't want to put my dog through that. And I didn't want to limit my outings to try to spare my dog from having to go through it either, right?
Right.
So I just used my cane because my cane, like, I haven't heard my cane complain once about the hot sidewalks.
Well, mine has neither, but like I said, if you walk barefoot, not on a sidewalk, but on the sand, it can be really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember when we were on a cruise in Mexico. Yeah, remember going to the water like, you're just trying to run.
What cruise line did you guys cruise on?
We did Norwegian.
Oh, cool! I love cruising.
Well, you know that the group is
on Norwegian, but
the NFB group is on one cruise right now to Alaska.
Oh, really? Which, like the national NFB or the Kansas NFB?
No, not the Kansas. It's a kind of it's a group of people from different states. So
Yeah.
I think the organizer is NFB of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are some folks from Kansas who bought the cruise, and from Colorado and from other places. So,
yeah, I did hear that they were trying to organize a cruise. If this first one goes well, maybe I'll jump on the next one.
Well, the next one is in spring. I can't remember.
In the spring of 26?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do I go to look at that to get information? Do you know what the website is?
I have an email somewhere.
Is it through the NFB? Is it through the NFB? Because I should be able to call the NFB and get information.
NFB of Colorado.
NFB of Colorado. Okay, good. Thank you for the information. I will definitely be calling them because I thought for a long time that it would be a great idea to have an NFB convention on a cruise ship.
Well, that's not gonna happen. Like, we're not gonna have convention on a cruise. I would
but this
bet
would
money
be
on it, but
But if it's a cruise with a bunch of blind people on it specifically, it'll be a lot like a convention,
Well, in a way, yeah.
Yeah, like hanging out with your blind peeps. I just love hanging out with my blind peeps. It's always fun. So.
Well, I was listening to some guy talk. He has gone on a number of cruises with many blind folks, and he says like the whole dynamic of the ship changes. Like
the ship is amazingly accessible. What does he mean that the dynamic changes when it's full of blind people?
Yeah, well, because people are kind of trying to figure out, like, normal sighted people, they're not used to seeing so many blind people at once.
Oh,
and
yeah.
All these blind people walking around and exploring and trying to find their, places to eat and just walking around and looking for signs.
Oh, yeah, but it's like that. It's like that in any hotel where we have our national convention or our state conventions, right? This just happens to be on a cruise ship. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He said it was changing the whole dynamic. People trying to help you, like figure out how to help you, like other cruisers. Like, oh, wow.
I wonder how many people panicked worried about blind people falling overboard.
Probably many.
Probably many. Yeah, sighted people think the silliest things about blind people.
Well, I know. I mean, I can't remember the number, but it was like at least 20 people went.
At least how many people went?
At least 20, but I think it's more than that.
Oh my gosh, I definitely need to get on the list for the next cruise because I definitely want to go. So I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah, I don't remember where it's going though. This one was the coolest, like the one they went on, the Alaskan cruise. But I heard that was the most expensive one because Alaska charges so much at the port.
Yeah.
Port fee.
Yeah.
At least that's how they explain it, but
yeah.
But I've been seeing videos. I mean, people put videos and making posts. My friends who went and then read from the ship, and they seem to enjoy it a lot. So
yeah.
Well, 1 week. Yeah, I would consider going again for sure. Maybe the Bahamas or something. Well, you can pick a shorter cruise. You don't have to go for the whole week.
Well, I've been on several cruises, Norwegian and Carnival cruise lines before. And before I ever did a Norwegian cruise, which was a week-long cruise, right? I did a couple of little dinky, like overnight cruises. So I know what the short cruises are compared to the bigger cruises, It's just, and I've been actually thinking about going on a cruise again for a couple of years. I've just been waiting for the right time. But now that you bring up these cruises again, I think I'm going to look into them because I'd love to go on one of the cruises where there's a bunch of blind people.
Well, that's what you should look. Yeah, that one that I mentioned. And then I also saw an email. I think NFB of Florida is organizing another one.
Oh, cool.
So there are like 2 cruises coming up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about going with so many blind people. I feel like the staff may be overwhelmed. I mean,
well, it depends on how many blind people are really going. Because on these cruise ships, there's thousands of people on these cruise ships, right? So a few hundred blind people really aren't going to impact it that much, I don't think.
Oh, of course it will. I mean, imagine. It depends on the level of skills that blind people have. But a lot of blind people, no matter how good your skills are, if you're a blind couple and you come to the buffet, for example, you're gonna need some help.
Yeah, I would recommend. I've been on some cruises, and I would recommend that people have really good O&M skills before they go on a cruise, especially if you're traveling with other blind people, because. Like I cruise with sighted people, right? And even with my really good O&M skills, it's quite challenging sometimes getting on board the ship or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And not getting lost in the fray or not getting or not winding up miscommunicating with somebody and winding up in the wrong line or with the wrong group or something, right?
Yeah.
And so I just would worry a whole bunch of blind people going. I would hope that they would have a lot of people there for support, you know,
Right.
so that nobody's getting lost or getting left behind anywhere.
Yeah, but even if you have super good O&M skills, it's still gonna, people will still get distracted by seeing, oh, blind person is coming with a cane, let me come and help them. So I think people will be jumping.
Well, so here's the thing. Like I said, I've been on a lot of cruises, and a lot of times you're like at an excursion, right? And you wind up realizing, oh crap, we got to get back to the ship because they're going to be like this time to board, right? So you might be running back to get aboard your ship, and in the process of getting back there, you're dodging around things, going through and under things, and there's a lot of obstacles. That's why I'm saying you really have to have good O&M skills so you can keep up with your party. Like I said, I travel with friends or family, right? And I don't want to get disconnected from them. So you got to be able to keep up with them as they're going through to get to the ship, because like there's, I don't know, I always feel really wary getting on board a ship, right? Or getting off of it, because I mean, you could always make a misstep and step off the dock or something, you know. So you just gotta be really careful.
Well, not just that. For that, you should use your O&M skills. But my biggest concern would be to go too far away from the ship and not being able to find it on time.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't recommend like a whole bunch of blind people going by themselves unless they have really great O&M skills. And even then, they might want to have some people with partial vision to kind of, you know, or something, because like I just remember a couple of times where we were running to get back to the ship before it took off, and we were like it's not just like a flat street to get back to the ship. There's like stuff, like I said, stuff you gotta like climb over and step around, and it's really quite cumbersome. But the experience is definitely worth it. I just don't know if I would want to go. You know what I mean? With only blind people. But I'm thinking if I go, I'm going to take my boyfriend with, because him and I haven't been on a cruise yet anyway.
Yeah, that'll be a lot easier for sure.
Yeah.
But I would be afraid to walk. I mean, there are stories when people, not even blind people, sighted people, were left behind.
Oh yeah, sighted people get left behind, and sighted people fall overboard. So
I know, but if a blind person does that, they're gonna blame it. Oh, that's because they're blind, you know?
No. Honestly, I'm blind, and I've been on cruise ships, and I mean, maybe some cruise ships are different, but the ones I've been on, like, even if you're blind, you got to climb up on that rail and try to fall off of it. like you got to do stuff that's not advised in order to fall out over the side, from what I've seen. Like, they don't have like gaps in the railing where you can just fall overboard.
No, I mean, the railing is not directly above the water. I mean, it is, but it's not like there's still a wall.
There's a deck. Usually there's a deck below you. Yeah.
Yeah, and the wall on the side. So the railing is not just directly.
Yeah.
But
like, the only way you can really get swept over is if you're out walking on the deck and there's like, what is it called? Like the high seas or the stormy seas. If there's like a lot of, like, if the boat is being tossed a lot and the waves are really high and there's water splashing up on the deck, you could get washed overboard. But if conditions are like that, you're going to want to go back to your cabin anyway. And I think the captain would probably put out an order on the ship for everybody to go back to their cabins.
Well, I don't know about going back to the cabins, but I know for sure that when they found weather conditions unfavorable, they would close all the decks. So you have to stay inside. Not in your room necessarily, but you can be in some kind of areas. There were a couple of, at least in our ship, there were a couple of bars inside. So they were still functioning. But because of the big waves and something, they just, they locked all the decks and you could not get out.
Yeah. There's one thing that makes me hesitate about cruising anymore, and that is Like, I remember when that quarantine came down, there were some cruise ships out at sea, remember? And
Yeah.
I remember like hearing on the news about the headaches that those people were going through and stuff. That's one thing that I would not like. I would not like being on a cruise when something like that happened, because that would be terrible to be
Yeah.
out there, because it's hard to get back into shore.
Yeah, I know. Well, but generally it's pretty safe though. I mean, you're not gonna wander
Oh,
off, you're not gonna get
oh yeah.
lost. You get
Yeah.
lost only on a ship and you can be
Yeah.
found pretty easily.
Yeah,
So,
there was one person that I always wanted to take on a cruise, and she died before I could, and that was my late mother-in-law. Because
uh,
when Randy and I first were planning our first cruise, she came over and heard us talking about our first cruise, and she indignantly informed us that she would not be caught dead on a cruise ship. But then when she heard us talking about how much fun we had on our cruise, then the next time we were going on a cruise, she talked about going, right?
take me.
Or she wanted to go, right?
Uh-huh.
But by then her health was too bad and she couldn't go on the cruise with us, and she died, before she ever had a chance to after that. But I just remember my mother-in-law, like, she missed out on her opportunity to go on a cruise because when we first invited her, she was being like, I don't know, just being a goofball about it, right? Like, she's
Well, a
being
lot of people.
oversensitive and stuff, and I don't know.
Well, a lot of people get scared. I mean, you still meet a lot of people today who are afraid of flying. So, I mean, you can't
Yeah.
blame. You can't
Yeah,
blame.
well, just like when you're in an airplane and you're up in the air, you're not really aware that you're up in the air, right? Like, you're not feeling like a bird up there, right? Because you're inside the plane. Well, it's a
Right.
lot the same on a cruise ship. Like, sometimes you're aware that you're on an ocean because the ship is tossing a lot. But as a blind person, I just felt like I was not really that affected by the tossing of the ship that much. I mean,
I wasn't either.
sometimes, it's like, I remember a couple of times I had to grab the rail when I was out on the deck, because I just felt like I was swaying a lot or kind of dizzy as I was trying to walk along the deck because of the swaying of the ship. But I don't know. And another thing about cruise ships is they're so blind accessible, right? Because like all of the elevators, when you walk up to the elevator and you push the button and you get in, it says what floor you're on, and then when it stops at a floor, it says
The
what
deck,
floor
yeah.
it's stopping at. Yeah, what deck? Yeah, and it's really great. And then as far as finding out where things are on the ship, in your room, all you got to do is pick up your room phone and dial 0. You can ask the operator, where is the salon, or where is the bakery at, or the Dairy Queen, or whatever, right? And she'll
Right.
tell you it's on such and such a deck, forward or aft, and she'll tell you if it's on starboard or I don't remember or port, right? So
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's the left and right side.
and
Yeah.
and so as a blind person, it's so easy to get around the ship because, like, you don't have to be able to see a map to do it.
Yeah.
And
Although maps can be handy for sighted people to figure out their way.
Maps?
Yeah, like on our ship we
What?
had like a little interactive app where you can type like restaurant and it tells you how to get there, what deck it was on. Yeah, so it's pretty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing from these guys when they are back. They departed this past Saturday, so they'll be back this Saturday, and they're probably going to be putting out lots of posts on Facebook and yeah.
Well, that's great news. So you said the NFB of Florida is also planning a cruise?
Yeah, I looked through my email back, and I will text you. Maybe you can text me. We are at the end of the show pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So you make your announcement about your email, and
yeah,
I can forward you that email when I find it.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can email me. I'm the host directly at beccameadows76@gmail.com. And Anya can also send me the information there.
Yeah, I will definitely. I'll look through my email and find it and send it to you.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Actually, it's beccameadows76@gmail.com. I think I gave the.
You said Rebecca. It's Becca, right?
Yeah, it's BeccaMeadows76@gmail.com.
All right. Well, sounds good. I guess.
Okay,
I
great.
guess we're in the end. Well, it was nice talking to you back.
Yeah,
and,
good talking to you too, Anya. And I'll catch you next week. I guess Brandon didn't make it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody have a great week and peace out. That's a wrap, y'all. Bye.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.